Listen up here. The restaurant industry is grueling and unpredictable, just like this show, from the front of the house to the back of the house and all in between. We will turn up the heat, you turn up the volume. I'm Chef Antonio Caruana. Welcome to the Tell All Podcast, The Burnt Hands Perspective.
This podcast contains explicit and potentially offensive material. You've been warned. Now buckle up, bitches. Let's go.
Listen up here. The restaurant industry is grueling and unpredictable, just like this show, from the front of the house to the back of the house and all in between. We will turn up the heat, you turn up the volume. I'm Chef Antonio Caruana. Welcome to the Tell All Podcast, The Burnt Hands Perspective. All right, a Burnt Hands Perspective episode is now in effect.
In effect.
So right here we have
Rex
an amazing chef today, and the best part about this is we're talking to a female chef.
Yes.
One of my favorites. Actually, I'm a fan, so I can't tell her that, but I'm gonna tell you that now, so finally. I don't get to your restaurant enough, but I love it. It's one of my favorite places to go. So, Courtney McQuiery, as in the quarry, right?
Yeah.
So that's she's an amazing chef, owner of Restaurant Blanca here in Hampton Roads. And the best thing about this is you're gonna be able to tell us all kinds of different perspectives because you're a woman. You fought your way up from the bottom to the top, right?
And we do have a baby,
We have
so
your
her baby is
baby
here. This
I'm a
is
mom.
hold on.
You're
This
a
is true
mom.
working mom,
Yeah,
restaurant
this is
chef, owner,
100%.
working mom, 2 kids.
Yes.
We're gonna get into all of it.
Yes.
So basically, so running a restaurant is hard enough, right? So
Yes.
raising a family on top of it, and then not only are you raising the family, but pretty much you're pregnant while you're cooking and doing this stuff, right? I mean, you're going for it. There's no downtime.
Yeah.
Working in a small kitchen like that. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about today, dude, is the kitchen grind and
Totally.
building a restaurant through motherhood and still trying to be a mother, a functioning parent and part of friggin' society and all the shit we got to deal with. Don't be afraid to say fuck if you need to, because it's this place.
I
But you don't have to.
No, don't worry. I
Yeah.
throw it around a lot. Actually, my son, who's 3, the other day, like we were sitting at the kitchen table and like my dog did something and he goes, "God damn it, Scouty."
Isn't it amazing
And I
how
was
they
like-
know how to use it in
And I
context?
was like, okay. But actually, you know what I did is I just like, instead of like drawing attention to it, I just was like,
Let it go.
Yeah.
So you didn't always want to become a chef, right?
Right.
There was a time in your life from our previous conversations, just from knowing
Yeah.
you, that you were actually entertaining other fields.
Yes.
And then you got into the culinary world. So, let's start the show with that a little bit. Let's start with where you started. How'd you come into this? Because there's a lot of females out there hopefully watching this. And I want not only females, but males alone to understand that a lot of chefs didn't just come out wanting to be a chef.
Right.
It just kind of happened, right?
Yeah.
So how did your beginning start? Start from where you were and then how you got into the culinary scene.
Well, actually, I was talking to my, this was going to be slightly rambling, but I was talking to my sister-in-law the other day, and she was talking about, she didn't know that Aruba was part of like the Dutch West Indies or whatever. And I was like, you know why I know that? Because I went in the 8th grade and I brought back a wheel of gouda. And it's like, we should have known then.
Right then.
When I went with my friend in the 8th grade on a cruise, and I brought back gouda. Like,
So no seashell, no sand dollar, right? You didn't bring back the little flip-flop ornament. You brought back gouda, which you could have got at the store.
Yeah, no, totally.
I love this.
So that was when I told her that, I was like, oh man, we should have known. There were signs for sure. But so I went to undergrad, typical. I think especially like in the early 2000s, like if your parents were just sending you, like they were like, you're going to college. So, and I had no idea what I was going to do, but that was so I went to college and majored in politics and then didn't know what else was going on.
Awesome. We're just getting
Coffee time, don't worry about us. It's
you
coffee
guys are
time.
good. Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah,
Cheers to
cheers,
coffee,
everyone.
Cheers to you. You had yours to have me all going.
Yeah. I had to start. This is like my 3rd cup of the day.
So-
I get up early. Yeah.
I love this. This is good stuff.
So anyways, I was a politics
Coffee talk.
major because honestly, I got the best grades in at UVA. It was like
So
it was a
smooth-
large
it was
class,
smooth for you. It
and they
was
didn't
easy.
have Friday classes. Yeah, so
Perfect.
You went for
no, yeah. And actually, UVA was actually once you get in, it's kind of like you can just kind of coast. You really can coast.
So
especially
you started, what you're saying, you started with, you were loving the fact that you didn't have class on Friday, which means you could have fucked off all weekend.
I
so
fucked
going
off
into a profession.
whole week. And
Yeah.
I know,
Now you go into a
exactly.
profession where screw you on Friday,
No,
it's
no,
over. Show's
exactly.
over. Yeah.
I had no weekends. Yeah, so I was like really, actually, so there were a couple different jobs I had in college. You know, I like interned at a magazine, and I worked at a law firm, and all of that stuff was really boring to me. But then I got a job as a server at a Italian restaurant on the downtown mall, and the time just went by so fast, and I made so much money, and I was like, oh, I like restaurants.
Yeah, right.
And so that kind of like
that's kind of what happens. I think every college student that goes and becomes a waitress or waiter or bartender, they instantly get that money. Some people actually leave school just to pursue that for the next 10 years of partying.
Yeah.
And I don't know where they go from there. However, there is always that impactful money right away. It's hard to turn away.
Yeah, the money for sure. And then also, like, I think it just became your work friends it was so easy. It was so much easier.
Yeah, your dysfunctional family.
Yeah. So that became pretty cool. And then, so from there, I decided I wanted to go to culinary school. I really just wanted to learn to cook because I always loved cooking. I was cooking in college. I was cooking for my family in high school. Like, everybody jokes, like, I have this Caesar salad that I've been making since like the 3rd grade. Yeah.
So the dressing from scratch.
Yes,
all the way through.
dressing from scratch. Yeah, because I think like I had never experienced that before, and then we went. It was like this random, like, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
Listen,
This is literally the beginning of like being in it.
This is how we do it. Look,
That's how we do it. It's fine.
I'm telling you what, there's been so many times still today, right now, my kids do their homework in the office at my restaurant. Right now. Matter of fact, it's Monday. It's happening tonight.
It's happening tonight.
It's happening tonight.
Perfect.
So all you watching, this is a very good note to you that this is not stage. This is real life. Okay?
Yeah.
We don't get a break, damn it.
But so what was I saying? Oh, I went with my grandparents. I went to this nice restaurant in Florida that did like a tableside Caesar, and I didn't know that you could have dressing that wasn't like in a bottle.
Yeah, right,
like
right.
And
Sure.
I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. And I like made them take me back the next night and like brought a little notebook and like wrote it down.
And that was the beginning of the end.
And that's how it started. Yeah,
Right,
that's how it
good. See,
started,
that's a great thing. So then from there, boom, you go from UVA, you get your ass to New York.
Yes. New York, yeah.
New York City.
New York City, yeah.
Okay.
To the French Culinary Institute in New York
Perfect.
City. Yeah,
so that's a great school.
Yeah,
Great
and so
school.
did that, and actually that was wild too because actually college was easy and you could be late. In New York, like they were like, no, you got to be 15 minutes early. You got to do this. Like I had to wear like the whole get up with the kerchief. It was like August in New York City, and I like.
Of course, it had to be the red, the white, and the blue. Yeah.
And I like never, my feet had never hurt like that before. But yeah, so that was the beginning. That's when I started, and I just kind of got a taste.
It is a very regimented school.
Yeah,
so
it didn't go back. Yeah.
They're going back to the, they take it to the brigade style for real.
Yeah,
they're the inventors of it anyhow.
Yeah,
so of course they're going to teach it, right?
Totally.
So with that being said, you get in there, you start learning things, and there you're at that school. I haven't been to it, but I've heard a lot of it. It's a lot more based on technique, French method, things like that. Correct? Yeah. All right. So while you're adjusting the child,
we're taking the baby. Take the baby out. Pass the baby around.
What are you doing? Look at this.
Come here.
Look at
Give
this
me that
guy.
baby.
What are you doing? You want to say something?
You want to talk into the
something?
microphone? It's gonna
All
take
right,
that
so we
water
got
glass.
babies on demand here, and I love it. This guy is so chill too. It's great.
He's good.
That helps
he's like
in this
that.
industry. So you go into New York City. You start going to school. Did you work? Did you extern somewhere? Intern, whatever you want to call it. Did you go in New York City and work? And what was that like?
Well, so actually, I ended up then going to Italy. I worked in Italy
Directly?
in Tuscany.
Okay.
Yes.
And I could see that in your cooking because you do have a lot of you're inspired by Italian food.
Very rustic Italian sort of deal. Totally. So that was like my first real cooking job was in Italy, and then I moved back, and then I started working at a restaurant called Rebelle in New York City, and so I don't know if you guys know, but there's this his name is Daniel Eddy, and he was my chef then, and he.
Like, I'll take him over here.
I know, I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna take that baby. You can come over here.
You want to take the baby? Take the baby. Let's do some
You want to
talking.
take the baby?
I'm taking the baby.
Okay.
Okay. You like me.
All right, we're baby swapping.
Hi.
This is a great one.
Come on.
This is a good episode.
Let me tell you something. I wanted you on the show for so long so we can just talk and chop it up that I'm like, bring the baby.
Yeah.
Who cares?
I know.
You know. So anyway.
So anyways, Daniel Eddy, he was he hired me, and I didn't know like anything. I didn't know anything at all, and I tried to quit like every 3 weeks because I was like, this lifestyle is not for me. Like all my friends from UVA were like bankers, and
Partying, right.
and they were out having a great time, and I was like, I can't go out, like can't do anything. And he just was like 3 more months, just try it and I just kept going. And so anyways, I stayed with them, and that's where like I learned how to work in a restaurant.
Do you give him do you give him credit for where you are today? Do you give him a lot of props?
Yeah, absolutely. Danny, I mean, meeting Danny was like a really important part of my career, totally. And actually, just last month I went up to New York, and like he hooked me up with another stage at our restaurant that I like wanted to check out, and like we walked around, and he has like almost like a little like Brooklyn kind of empire over there. It's called Winner. He started in COVID. Anyways, he has a couple different places, and he took me around, and we just kind of like looked at all his stuff and where we've both come, how far we've come, and it was just really cool. Yeah, so totally.
So that
Danny
is great.
like
So not enough, it's funny. It's good to hear. Not funny, but it's good to hear you say that. One of my biggest things is I look at so many people who came up, and you and I, we work and we cook in an area. We do the best we can in our area. We have a lot of following. We share a lot of the same clientele, you know. Mm-hmm. Basically what I'm saying is we're on the upper tier, and I'm proud to say that about both of us. But not enough people that worked up underneath myself and you around here are taught that it's okay to give praise to the people you worked under, the people you learn from. Sometimes that's not happening enough, and I'm noticing that on a worldwide level, not just much here. I mean, I think that's a thing. So for you to say that a lot of what he did and what you learned from is really good to hear, because it shows respect from where you came from, and how can you respect where you're going if you don't respect where you came from?
Absolutely.
And I don't understand how people do not get that in their fucking skull. You know, I can look back at all the chefs, restaurant owners, mentors, and I can tell you, not every one of them were the best chef in the world, but they were the best person for my chapters that I needed to be where I am.
Yeah, no, totally. And it's about people, and it's about how you 100%. And that's like, it may not be like the technique, but I'll remember certain like things that we like, work ethic.
Well, it's the early kitchen days that kind of shaped that, right?
Yeah.
So it's the early kitchen days of where you came in. If you didn't go that French style of school, you would have never got a hold of that French brigade system, right?
Right.
You would have got pieces of it. You would have got little things. But even if you go to the CIA or Johnson & Wales or Culinary Institute of New England or wherever you go, you're going to get systems, right? You're going to get reminded that's where it came from. But if you go there, you're getting that type of grind hustle.
Yeah,
it's different.
yeah.
And then if you go to New York City, you go right in there. Then you're going to Italy. Those are early stages that set you who you are, right?
Yeah, they really did.
I love this.
Totally.
I mean, for someone to be able to get that kind of experience right out of the gate is insane.
Yeah, and honestly, I think like that was, I will say that definitely came from me and my desire to like, I'm always like that. That's just something like I really don't like to sit still. I love big cities. I also like don't think, this is why I have a restaurant, I don't think things through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna do this. And I just do it.
Yeah, let's go, right?
So yeah, and then I'm like my husband is much more like, he's like, hold on, like wait, like let's talk about like in action.
So you're like me. I love this. Yeah. I don't love this. Let's do another one.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, let's do it again. Because I know I could put the kitchen in this corner of this building. It'll be great.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean?
No.
I don't really want the restaurant. I just want to see how my idea with the kitchen works.
That's what he also says that. He says that to me. He's like you always have the vision. Like I don't have the vision. You know what I mean? I'm like, no, this is perfect right here. Like this building could do this, or absolutely.
So looking back now at some of the lessons you learned from those earlier days, is there anything from them that still stick with you that you are haunted with? Meaning, I'm not going to do that again, or I remember that, or do you use any of those things to help you today with your team and stuff like that now, what do you think?
From New York, I'm trying to think of like a good. Well, honestly, I think Yes, but I can't think of a good example right now.
No, I get it. So maybe the question wasn't clear enough because I'm kind of questioning my own question that I questioned you on the question I was questioning. So basically, I guess what I'm saying, I guess the answer is yes, because we wouldn't be here today if we didn't keep on to those things, right? People who ignore them are the ones who don't typically make it.
Yeah.
I think they just kind of live in a hope and a prayer. So we all have that period. We all have that period where you just set your restaurant up, or you're just stepping in. Let's say everyone listening doesn't have their own restaurant, right? You're just stepping into that sous chef role, or chef de cuisine, or maybe you're the executive chef. You're stepping into that role. And that is the period of your life now where it just becomes about the grind. That's it.
Yes.
Because you're in it, you're pumped, you're into it. You don't mind the long hours, the tough services. You know, you don't mind learning the ropes, right? Mm-hmm. When did those years happen for you when it came to Blanca? When did that happen? You've been open for how long now?
8 years.
8 years. So
yeah.
you're starting now to get some sort of understanding or reprieve.
Yes.
So how was the roughest part?
How was what?
When was the roughest part for you?
The
with Blanca?
roughest part at Blanca, when we started, and then COVID, and then I opened that little cafe that was next door, and actually that's something that I learned from that. And somebody told me not to do it, and I didn't listen to them. But I will never.
Did this person who told you, was that someone in the industry, or was
Yes, yes. So what happened is the building next door to Blanca opened up. It was this kind of like fast Brazilian casual thing, and I really didn't want anything like that to go back in there. So I was like, I'm gonna jump on that lease. And I was like, oh, what would be great is to have a little cafe. I lived in the neighborhood right next door, so I was like, I have been wanting Three Ships coffee in this neighborhood, so why don't I just bring it to?
Sure.
And
This will be easy. Let's just open a place.
Easy. And then I told, and
said
then
no
I
one
met
ever.
That's the famous last words of anyone in this will be easy. Just build another
female
one.
restaurateur, and she was like, don't do it. She was like, do you still work full-time at Blanca on the line there? And I was like, yeah, so? And she was like, don't do it. She was like, not unless you are like expendable, like unless you're just like extra hands at your first restaurant should you start a second one. And I was like, no, I'll do it anyways. And so like,
Well, she's not wrong in that.
She wasn't wrong.
But that's a great piece of advice, because people ask me all the time, you know, you started here at Luce, then you opened up Luce Secondo, now I opened up the market. The biggest thing I had to do was let go. That was the biggest problem, was letting go. So letting go of the 100% guarantee that you're going to be there every minute to make sure every little thing is detailed, is you have to let that go.
Exactly.
You can still have quality if you put the trust in people.
Yes.
We just have to let it go, you know?
And honestly, something I have realized is that that actually we've actually gotten more of a quality product at Blanca when I don't have to be there 100%, because sometimes, like, if I was on Garde Manger that night, like, I was talking to people, I was running their credit card, I was like, and so I wasn't able to focus, like, so now I have, like, my Garde Manger person is my Garde Manger person. I'm not, like, just, like, also doing salads, you know? Yeah. So I think, like, we were able to streamline and become better when I was not. Didn't have to be on the line, and that's how we've been able to grow and like have more.
You
of a
don't
quality
learn that
product.
shit until you do it.
Yeah,
you
and
can
really,
never imagine it.
and that actually came from motherhood, because I worked the line up until I went into labor with Kevin.
So
really, that day.
And then I didn't, and I really, because I was really thought, well, what happened? I had a sous chef in place, and then he ended up having like a sort of mental breakdown.
Disaster.
Yeah, you know what happens.
No, of course I do.
And so
I probably worked for me one point in time, crazy bastards.
So then I'm trying to fill in for him, and Kevin came a couple days early, and that was just, hey, Benji.
She's like, hi.
Talking.
Benji.
I think when you get excited, and talk, he gets in on it.
I know, yeah.
Well, I think, and the hardest part for you guys is learning that no one can be you. No one's going to care as much as you do. Nobody's going to do what you do in the restaurant.
No.
So it's hard to let go.
No, yeah.
I think it's in any industry. I think my lawn guy says the same thing.
Yeah.
I hate it too.
I have gotten I will say that's the other, and it also like, and I think people find this anywhere, is like, it is people though. People are like in this, like I wouldn't be here without Danny and without Jill. We'll talk about Jill later, but like without those mentors. But I also wouldn't be here without the amazing people who have worked for me and backed me up. Like, and people that I've taken a chance on, those people took a chance on me, and I know that I was able to help them grow their businesses. But in the same way, I have people now who have helped me become who I am.
It's funny you
by
say
working
that.
for me.
Let me say this.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this right now, and you can relate, and anyone listening can relate to this if you're a restaurant owner or a chef. There's old employees of mine I fucking hate. I hate them. I can't stand them as people.
Same.
However, the older I get, the more I look back at them, and I have a little bit of respect for them. I'm not going to lie. There's still a little slice of respect, because without them being the asshole they were, or me tolerating it, or me not getting rid of them when I should have, or them taking it, whatever the problem may have been to make me feel the way I do about them, I'm sure they feel the same way about me. The difference is, though, is I'm learning to succeed, and I look back at it and say, okay, they were a part of the moment in my life that made me still be where I am. So I still have a respect for them.
Yes.
There's people out there that I really can't stand.
Yeah.
But I've learned something from them, and I still respect them this much. Yeah. There's still something about
Well,
it.
they functioned. They had a function in
They
your
had a
life.
function, right. They
taught
did
you
something.
They taught you something.
But back to the cooking, I want to ask you just one question.
Yes.
You don't just go open a restaurant, right, on a whim. Yes, we do, but you still have to have a level of confidence that you can bring something to the people, right?
Yeah.
I didn't believe in that. When I first opened this place, I was opening up yes, I've always cooked for other people. I was underneath their wing. I've always had my thing, and I've always cooked good. But you don't know until you go if people are really going to understand your palate, if they're really going to accept what you do.
100%.
So at what point in your coming up did you feel the most comfortable in what you were doing in the kitchen? Where did you find your way? Was it before Blanca? After? Or where was your confidence level at the peak? Or is it now?
I think it's now. But also I think, so when I was working, so after New York, I went to Charleston, and I found my way to this restaurant called Chez Nu. And at Chez Nu, they changed the menu completely every day. So, and it's 4 brand new dishes every day.
And how many seats are in that restaurant?
I think it was about 40.
That's a lot. That's a lot of seats to change the menu daily.
Busy.
That's a lot.
And
Yeah.
it's
Plus
busy.
yeah.
I'm telling you, that place is like, you are making food. Like, it's busy, and like, it's Charleston, so you can also seat outside. They have this little patio. So
Sure.
So yeah.
Charleston is an amazing food city.
Yeah.
Whoever hasn't been to Charleston to eat, you should get down there.
Yeah.
So now, when people are talking, not to cut you off or anything,
No,
but I
it's
want to
okay.
really brace this, because people don't understand the value of what you're learning right then and there. When people say the menu changes daily, that's not an easy task. That's easy to say if we're just talking about it, right?
Yeah.
But when you're talking about day 349 of the year,
Yeah.
that's 349 menus,
Yes.
right? That's
Yes.
349 different ideas, which
Yeah.
means your team has to be involved at some point.
Yes.
Because none of us are culinary gods to be able to just create things daily like that, you know? So that was one of those things that really helped you
Yes.
engage with the
Especially
ingredients, really.
Engage with the ingredients, and also like she basically kind of had this repertoire of things that we did there, right? So we would always do fish this specific way, or we would do or fish this specific 5 different ways. And then there was always you would do pâte à choux, and there were a lot of pastries and a lot of bread baking, a lot of that sort of stuff. And as opposed to when you work on the line, you have 4 dishes, and say you're working on pasta, and you're out on that station for 6 months. You're only actually cooking 4 dishes, and I do think repetition is important, and I think monotony is important for a cook, because I'm not that great with that, but that is important to create it to mastery, is monotony and repetition.
It creates perfection.
However, in this way, I was learning something new every day. I was doing custards. I was doing things that and oftentimes things that take a little bit more finessing and babying, because you only had to do it for one day. Whereas a lot of times chefs, for me, a lot of times I'm we're not going to do that because that's too much for this cook. You know what I mean? That's too much for us to do. But since you only had to do it for one day, you could really get into some nitty-gritty stuff.
Right.
So I thought that was great.
The good thing is you're saying that is perfectly right. So you're caught between being creative and being able to experience new technique daily, but never really mastering the technique enough to where, oh shit, I could have done that better. Day 3, I would have figured this out.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You don't really start to figure it out until the end of service, and then you're like, oh man, I wish I was doing that tomorrow.
So to me, it'd be like, okay, you're gonna make a sauce, whatever it may be. We figured out how to make it so it doesn't break to the order. Man, if we could have do this 2 days in a row, we could have pre-made this so it doesn't break, and then we could have figured this out and that, and then we could have just made a banger menu out of this. So you have that to deal with, but you can carry that on into your career.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
So that's awesome. So once you were there, you were in Charleston, you found your way, you worked through there, you worked through Fig a little bit, you've staged at some places, you did some things there. So you have a really rounded experience. You're out there. You've been doing some great things. Now when you're cooking in your restaurant, 8 years later, you're hiring people, you're seeing people come, you're seeing people go, the team is always there for you. How does that change now as far as your leadership in the kitchen? You can't always be cooking all the time, so now it's like you're kind of, are you to the point now like where I'm at, where I let my team do the work and I'm overseeing and doing quality control and stuff like that?
Absolutely. I think that is, yes, and that has been something that has been hard for me to stomach sometimes, because honestly, with Blanca, once I hired that extra person that I was talking about, there's no room for me. It's so small, I can't even I can't be back there.
Sure.
And so that's really when you're like, okay.
And if you do go in there and you fuck up their routine, you're only screwing yourself, because they do create a routine. And when I step into my kitchen, I'm in my kitchen every night, but when I sit in there and if I were to start sauteing and cooking and actually working tickets like that nightly,
they get annoyed.
I would get annoyed because I'm too clean, I'm too neat, I can go too fast, I do things differently, right?
Yes.
I want them to enjoy their routine, and I don't want to step in and bust it out, right?
Yeah.
So now here, I'm not even going to compare the two of these to being a father to a mother, right?
Right.
Because there is that whole paternal connection, right? That men don't have as much as women.
Well, men don't also have to sit there with their ankles swollen and trying to bend over and can't and all the other
or
things.
Breastfeed.
Or breastfeed.
So what I'm getting at is when it came to being a father for me,
yes,
that definitely changed my life and my perspective. And as my kids aged and I start teaching them how to be young adults and responsible, it changed my view in the kitchen too when it comes to people. Is that happening to you? Is your motherhood starting to change your perception of how business goes a little bit?
Yes. Yeah, totally. I think, I think really it also, as I've eased into, because I think when I first started out, I think I was also very anxious and worried about the perception of me and people taking advantage of me. So I think I had this very hard exterior in sort of don't. Exactly. Don't fuck with me. I will fire you, or I will do not
right. You have to assert yourself as a boss.
I want
bitch,
people
right?
to know
you have to.
Don't do that. But now I'm seeing that because I feel so confident in my position and so confident in the success of Blanca, and I know that people are going to come, that I don't need to necessarily do that, because my action, my success speaks to itself. I don't have to be
That's exactly how I feel. You're right. And it's good because now that you have a friggin' resume.
Right.
Basically,
exactly.
you have credentials, you have that out there, right? You have accolades. So that just stands on its own mountain, and everyone else underneath is trying to get that, right? So what I noticed when I became a father, and as I watch my kids grow and different situations arise, I become more empathetic, if anything.
Right. Yeah.
So now I understand that if someone's off because their kids are sick, I kind of get it now. Whereas before I'm like, shut the fuck up and start cooking, please. Totally. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now I'm like, all right, I get it. You know what I mean? I understand what it's like.
Yeah.
Having a family while building a career like this is not easy. So kudos to you.
Yeah.
Any woman out there who's in this industry totally understands and gets it. And if you're not and you don't get it, you need to start learning and figuring it out that being a woman in this industry is hard enough.
Yeah.
Being a woman in this industry, and I can tell you that right now, being a female boss / chef or owner in the restaurant industry is hard.
Yeah.
I don't believe now it's as hard as it used to be, but when you came in, it was fucking hard.
Yeah.
Anything 10 years ago
Yeah.
was hard.
Did you hear, I mean, some of the worst things said to you being a female? Were there like, of being like sexual harassment or things that you dealt with?
Yeah, definitely. We could do a whole podcast on that. Yeah, or just like, and totally, that's like just not, I think, yeah, I don't want to dwell on that, but yeah, there's always sort of that. Yeah. And even now, so I'm not in there as often, and we have a lot of new faces who come into Blanca. And I have an older guy who is I call him Granddaddy, but his name's Brandon. But he works the where I used to stand, and like oftentimes like people are like, "Oh my God, chef, how did you come up with this?" And he's like, and he's always like, and I'm like in the dish pit, like because the dishwasher didn't come out. He's like, "Oh, Courtney actually like handed it," and people look at me like, who's that girl? Like, you know, it's very, and we always joke about that for sure. So that's like, it's very prevalent. It happens constantly. But I also, like I said, I think once you feel secure in your business and in what you're creating and how you interact with people, and you feel proud of what you're doing, I no longer need to like shout it from the rooftops like, this is my restaurant, you know?
Yeah, right.
I just like,
people know.
Like I'll just write my check at the end of the month, like, you know.
That's
what
it,
I mean?
yeah.
Like I don't need.
People know now.
Yeah.
So now here's the thing, okay? One thing before I get into the next, but
okay.
You mentioned something about Kim. Kim? Was it Jill?
Jill.
Sorry.
Yes.
So sorry, Jill.
Yeah.
But you mentioned something about Jill, and I'm all about mentorship and stuff. So you mentioned something about her. So tell me what you're gonna say about Jill.
Right. Well, so actually, that's who, as a female, she really taught me She taught me the most about leadership and like quiet leadership and setting standards by example, and even to this day, she's probably still cooking on that line. Like she's one of those people who just loves.
And where was she? What city?
Jill was the owner and chef at Chez Nu.
Okay,
so
good.
she still is there.
Yep.
She still is there today, and she's just like the hardest working bitch I ever met.
And her family,
like,
her whole situation is restaurant, because her husband just won Michelin, right?
Yes.
He just got his first star?
Yes, first
So that's
star.
amazing. So the household itself.
Yeah, they don't have kids too either.
Well,
but
yeah, right. They do have a lot of kids, just not their own.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, yeah.
That's amazing. So shout out to her.
Yeah.
And shout out to you. You know, I'm gonna give my quick review of your restaurant. Ready?
Okay.
Okay.
This is new.
We're
Ready for.
So this is new. So people do the reviews, and this is my Restaurant Tony review. Restaurant Tony here with my review. So when you walk into her restaurant, very small, very quaint, very clean, very personable, and you can tell that it's very chef driven and owner driven, and you can tell right away that the owner is the chef here. There's no question about that, right?
Yeah.
Food, small menus, really cool, printed out, very, very clean, very modern, very sophisticated, very legible, very easy to read, typically white background, black lettering.
We're going to all of that. Okay.
Every day, by the way, we print new menus. That printer has been
worn
burnt out.
Yeah, I just signed a contract to have them come in now. Now I have a printer in my office that's done automatically.
Oh, that's great.
So with that being said, all the food, very, very nicely plated. Your plates are all done with negative space. You do all the perfect stuff like that. I notice you have a very good eye for detail. Your team follows you. And what's best about it is there's a lot of technique involved, because your kitchen is not really prepared to do the shit you're doing. So you're doing a lot of stuff on flat tops. You're doing a lot of things covering and using steam where you should probably be counting on something else. You're really improvising and putting out some really good product. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
All right, cool. So I'm just making sure I'm on the right page here.
Yeah.
The food is awesome. It's fucking great. I notice a lot of influence, definitely French, and more so definitely Mediterranean, Italian, squeezing along that, even that Greek kind of style sometimes, right?
Yeah.
A little bit with the lemons. You like lemons, you like fish. Long story short, and your pastries. So all your desserts, all your sweets, everything is done in-house, in pan. Really, really clean again. Your textures are always there. You're always combating something smooth with something crunchy. These are all things I've noticed in the times I've been there.
Yeah.
So Even your pastas are made there. Pastas are fresh. Your sauces with lemons or whatever, mixed with creams to where they're not they're not overly done to where nothing's curdling, nothing's overpowering. All your lactic acids are working perfect with your tannic acids. Everything is awesome. So what I'm getting at is you guys need to go check her out over there. This is my Restaurant Tony review. Everything in that place is amazing. I love it. It has to be one of my top 3 restaurants in Hampton Roads. No question. So I just don't get to get there enough.
Yeah.
Because every time you're on, it's way on the side of town, and I'm typically in my kitchen. So I look forward to coming back there again. And I really recommend that. And the reason I wanted you on the show so badly is because of this. Your baby.
Because of my baby.
Your working ethic. You do a lot. You do a lot for the community.
Chonky man.
Which we won't get into, because one thing I don't bring into the show ever is politics.
Right.
Don't give a shit about it. It has no place in our world because there's so many of them. People have to come to our place, I feel, to be able to get away from everything and enjoy the moment now. But you do play a role in you have your views, and they're all very strong, and you stand behind them, and they're all great views. So keep doing that as well. I don't really, like I said, I don't like to get into them here because now we get into a whole nother world. That's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah.
But you do stand strong.
If I can speak on one thing.
You sure can. Go ahead.
So people come to restaurants to get away from, to not think about that. And escape. Yeah, I totally understand that. However, there's like so many different layers of politics that do end up infiltrating in the way we do business and like how we interact with our community. And I think that that's why I feel strongly about speaking my mind on those things, because I think that food is political, how we receive it, tariffs, minimum wage, workers' rights, etc.
I will say this, Courtney. This is what I wanted to say, okay? And I didn't want to get into it, but you just hit it on the head. The reason why I like you and what you stand on is because and this is what I'm going to say. I didn't want to go there, but we're going to now.
Okay.
All of your beliefs that I noticed from you are communal. They're all community-based rights that you just said.
Yes.
That really affect people in the community,
Yeah.
no matter where your community is.
Totally.
So tariffs affect the community. Minimum wage affects your community. Women's rights affects your community. These aren't things you're talking about that affect your bank account. We're not talking about things that affect your taxes and all this other bullshit.
Yes.
You're not talking about war in the other countries. You're worried about what's happening in your community.
Yeah.
And that's why I was giving you kudos, is because that is an exceptional ideology.
And I'll always say that I think that when I moved here and I started Blanca, that was something that I was starting Blanca because I didn't have anything else to do. I just felt like there was nothing else for me here, that I had to start my own restaurant. But the secondary thing that I got from Blanca was a community, and the community of Norfolk has been so incredible to me that like I feel indebted to the community that Blanca has created, and I feel like it created
the culinary culture.
Yes, the industry here, and what it's done for me.
One last question, then we're going to rapid fire for some fun.
Oh, okay.
Rapid fire, ready?
Sure, totally.
One last question though. I forgot what the question was. Oh, all right, I'm just kidding. Young women out there are coming into. There's a lot more women. There's a lot more women coming into the industry now.
Yes.
A lot more. And I have more women in my kitchen now working than ever. And I think it's great. What is if you can give a young woman, any advice coming into the culinary world, into the kitchen, what would it be?
Gosh.
And you can get as raw as you want. You can say whatever you like.
Man. I say stay away from the line cooks, girls.
Yeah. Stay away from the line cooks. You heard it here first. They will ruin you. And they will destroy your kitchen.
Honestly, like that is like, it's a very, no, I wish I had something more profound, but like you really, because when you
That is profound.
When you start young too, you're like you're always like kind of looking for love, and you don't have other places to go for it, but I think like the best thing that happened to me was starting to date a firefighter and get out of
Listen, here on the other end of that, one decent looking woman in a kitchen could sink the whole fucking ship. It'll sink the whole fucking ship, man.
That's so
I watch all these young line cooks. There's one girl in there. I watch all the young line cooks just go. I'm like, here we go. Who hired this? What happened here?
You did.
Not me. I don't hire him no more. Not me. I'm like, all right, who's doing this? Who's
It's like,
Yeah.
who wants to squeeze my lemon juice today,
right?
boys?
Yeah.
And they all will.
You know,
They will
I'm really
fall over
behind
themselves.
on prep.
All right, you ready? Rapid fire. Then we'll call it rapid fire.
let's go.
Okay, ready? These are fun questions. Give me your fastest, quickest answer that comes to your
no.
mind. There's
Okay.
15 of them. Ready?
Oh, God.
Worst nightmare going out to the table: overcooked steak, cold food, or a broken sauce.
Cold food.
Cold food.
Overcooked steak too. Both of those. I think you can serve a broken sauce sometimes. Depends.
Okay, got it. One word that describes Saturday night service. One word.
Chaos.
Worst ticket modification you've ever seen.
I have had somebody who is like dairy free. I don't want butter, don't want this, and then she orders the cheesecake at the end of the night.
Ain't that some shit? That's the biggest bullshit I hear. One ingredient that instantly makes you judge a restaurant. Ooh, that's hairy. That's hairy, girl. Come on.
Oh my god, I don't know.
One ingredient that makes you instantly judge a restaurant.
With like anything coming out of like a number 10 can, unless it's like tomatoes.
Yeah.
Tomatoes is fine, but
Tomatoes
anything
is
else,
fine, as
I
long as
like
they're
it.
muti.
Yeah.
All right, so what's the most overused word in food right now?
Man, you know what? I was just thinking about this. Overused word. I don't know.
It's a hard one. That's the middle tough one. So you're gonna pass?
Well, no, I'm gonna have to say there's like people are. Shoot. Pass.
Pass.
I'll come back.
Which is harder, a slammed dinner service or getting kids ready for school?
Kids ready for school.
It is. I ain't bullshitting. I'm telling you right now. What's the most ridiculous complaint you've heard from a customer?
Ridiculous. Some lady, she wrote us a really nasty review because she wanted to come in and sit at her table 30 minutes early. It wasn't ready, so we sat, but we were able to find her another seat, and she didn't want to sit there. So
Right.
then she said, and then she went and wrote this review about how she didn't even want that the restaurant she didn't particularly like anyways. And I'm like, well, why?
Dude,
Why are you
we
so
should've
mad
made
that
some-
you can't sit here?
Have you ever seen my episodes where I tear up shitty reviews like that?
We should have
Oh, they're
printed
the
one of
best,
your
dude.
shitty reviews.
Yeah, we should have.
I actually did respond to that one. I've never responded to a review before, and I responded to that one.
You should.
All right, one food trend that needs to disappear immediately. One food trend that needs to disappear immediately.
You know what I really don't like?
Tell me.
I don't like if there's like, so if you go to a restaurant and they have like poke bowls and tacos, I'm not eating there. I don't want, like, no.
Right.
Or like they have smash burgers and poke bowl.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, that's
come
weird,
on, man.
right? That's like
I don't-
fucking Yard House
Just
or
do
something.
one
Yeah,
thing.
can't do it. Yeah, you're right. It's two
Yeah.
totally different worlds.
Yeah.
One dish you secretly hate cooking. Oh, there's a lot of them. There's not one. There's a lot.
That's true. That I don't like cooking. You know, I don't love I don't like shucking oysters. I don't like
Perfect.
oysters.
I love it. Raw bar. Let's say raw bar.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm the same. I can dig that. One dish. Let's see. Best late night staff meal for after service.
Brandon makes something called Nas Carbonara, and it's hot dogs and like a pasta. It's like a carbonara style.
Carbonara.
Nas Carbonara.
That is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, it's really
I love
good
this.
though. It's fucking.
Tell him
it's good.
he needs a brand.
Yeah,
that shit.
yeah, right.
I love that. One food you absolutely refuse to eat. Nas Carbonara.
No. I like Nas Carbonara.
I'm just kidding,
I don't
no.
fuck with ketchup.
No, ketchup,
Yeah,
really?
no, I don't fuck with ketchup.
Okay, I like it. Who is harder to cook for? Food critics, chefs, or your own family?
Dude, my son doesn't eat anything right now. He's literally, so probably Kevin. Yeah, my son.
Really?
My 3-year-old. Yeah. I would
Okay,
say.
after a brutal service, cold beer, glass of wine.
Cold beer, always.
Perfect. I like that quick one.
Yeah, a Miller High Life is my
Oh, even better.
preference.
Champagne.
That's like the line cook. But you know that we don't have that as our beer distributor, so we have Narragansett. That's our staff beer.
That's good.
Yeah,
There it is.
Narragansett.
So last one is you ask me one. Put you on the spot. Any question about cooking, whatever you want.
What? Yeah, what food trend do you not like right now? What's or the overrated word, the overused word that we were talking about? What's your?
I was hoping you were going to ask me that
Yeah,
one. 'Cause that's the hardest one. Isn't it?
I know, it is hard.
So the food trend. I'm going to have to say, there's a few of them out there I don't like right now that's going on. It's so fucking. I think what's overused the most right now is the whole smash burger thing.
Smash burger.
There's a shit ton of smash burgers around
That's
here.
what I think is overused.
Dude,
and I think I love them. They're delicious, but they're so overused that everyone's trying to get by doing it, and I don't like that trend.
Yeah. If you do it, do just that, because that's what you're gonna. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that's probably it. That and the other thing I can't stand right now, I'm getting tired of, is a tomahawk.
Oh, a tomahawk.
Everyone advertising a tomahawk everywhere you go.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Totally.
it's, that's another
Absolutely.
thing.
I agree with that.
So I like a tomahawk, but I just think that's to beat the
Oh my
fuck.
God, I have one. Natural wine.
Oh my God.
Natural wine.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
natural.
Don't get me. You can't
Yeah.
No.
No.
I'm
Natural
done with
wine,
natural
yeah.
wine. I do like something. I do like, but like wine in essence is natural, right?
Right. I
That's
don't
what
get it.
I'm okay with.
Where
like,
else are you getting wine from?
Yeah, I just don't want I don't want something that tastes like kombucha every time especially like if it's that high acid and then I'm having like acidic food and then it's just no,
It's too
not
much
for me.
It is
not
is
for
hard.
me.
It's brief.
Yeah.
It's too much. You're doing too much. Winery.
Yeah, and the other, that's kind of the thing I think is like, it's very like, it's hip, and especially here, it's like finally made its way down here. And just because it's natural doesn't make it good. And
That's right,
that's like,
yeah.
I don't want all that cloudy. I also hate IPAs.
Oh my God,
Okay.
me too. So you're like, I think our palates are kind of the same.
Yeah.
We cook the same, we kind of eat the same.
Yeah.
And I don't like all that overbearing stuff that is just so up front.
Yeah.
Natural wines, thumbs down. IPAs, 2 thumbs down. If you're liking IPAs, like half the people watching this probably
I
go
know.
thumbs up, whatever, it is what it is. But anyway, here's the deal. So one last thing, building another restaurant, what do you think? You ever gonna do another one?
I guess we'll just announce it here. Yes, I am.
Really?
Oh my gosh. Okay.
At
I'm
the-
not alone.
yeah.
I'm not alone.
Yeah. So it'll be at the beach. It's called Bambino.
Bambino. So you're gonna do some
Bambino.
Italian
It's gonna
stuff.
be Italian.
Stop.
Yeah.
Really?
Bambino.
Where
yeah.
at the beach? You in
17th
details?
Street.
So are
17th
we
Street.
revealing
Yeah.
Oh my God.
timelines?
We're hoping the end of the summer, but well, it's being recorded, and I want my investors and partners to. So yeah, we're hoping end of the summer.
I get it. No,
This will
awesome.
be out kind of the end of March, so you're
Bambino.
good.
So
So
perfect.
yeah, okay.
That's great. Good for
I
you.
love that. That's actually
amazing.
that was actually my dad's what he called me when I was little. So
Bambino.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's gonna be
fun.
great. You're gonna
It
do a
should be
killer
fun.
job there. I already know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, you've already had that Italian influence and everything else.
Yeah.
Just don't be mad when Manzo Imati comes around.
yeah, I know.
Who's that?
Possible.
Possibly,
Oh, where's that at the beach?
maybe.
Oh, cool.
We'll see.
What's it called?
Manzo Imati.
Monzo. So hands and
No,
and
no, it's hands.
Yeah.
Manzo is beef.
oh, beef
Cow.
and fish.
Beef in the sea.
Beef and fish.
Yeah.
Oh, beef in the sea.
Yeah,
Oh, fun.
beef and fish, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
upscale. Anyway.
Oh, cool. Great.
Well, let's have fun with it. Anyway, we're gonna pass the baby. Pass the baby. What are you doing? What are you doing, Chubbs? What are you doing, Chubbs?
We're just passing
So-
the baby.
Thank you for
Love having you.
fun.
Thanks for
I love
coming.
Oh my gosh.
And this guy right here.
He loves you.
This
Chuck.
guy.
He loves
He's
you.
just
Thanks for
so
tuning in.
happy.
Ciao for now.
Ciao.